Yes, you know that that's true, not just for young people, but for older people too. If only I had known that earlier in life, I'm pretty sure I would have made some different decisions along the way. How about you? Um, One of the stupidest things I ever did is let someone talk me into doing something really, really bad. Now, I've done a lot of things, but this is one I can share. So, I worked for a lady, she was my boss, and we went out for dinner and drinks one night. And after the evening was over, she said, "We're going to do something different." And I said, "What are we going to do?" Now, she was my boss, and I was trying to impress her, but she said, "We're going to skip out on the bill." I'm like, "What? Skip out on the bill?" I didn't know a lot of things, and I had not lived a sheltered life, but I had never stolen from anyone. So this was like, oh my gosh, what am I supposed to do? Am I going to stand up or am I going to give in? You know what I did? I gave in. I got up, I pretended to go to the bathroom, and I walked out of the restaurant. And then a few minutes later, she met me at the car. And I thought, oh my gosh, I've literally just broken the law because I've let someone with a loud voice help me to make a wrong choice. And what I did that day is I let myself down, and I remember the feeling because I still feel it today. It was stupid. I was being manipulated, and she was trying to see if she had that kind of leverage over me, and she did. And yes, thank God I learned from it, and I still feel bad about it today. So, here is a phrase I learned from a friend of mine a long time ago. The biggest gap in life is between knowing and doing. We know to eat right, but do we eat right? We know to exercise, but do we actually do it? So, in most cases, our choices, we know what to do. It's just being strong enough to who we really are to be able to actually do that. This is not something that someone else can do for you either. You can't choose right choices like for your kids or for your husband or for your wife or for anyone else. You have to be boop, 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 alert enough to be able to say, that is a voice I'm going to turn down. That is a voice I'm going to turn up. If I think about all the times in my life when I've gotten tripped up, plenty of times by myself, I didn't need any help with that, but let someone else talk me into doing something for all the wrong reasons, then that was a wrong voice. And let me just tell you something. You don't ever grow out of this. Think about clickbait. Think about times you've fallen for online and you think, I'm just going to look at Facebook for a few minutes. And then all of a sudden, that voice has been screaming in your head, you're less than, you're not as good as them, you'll never do what they're doing. All of a sudden, you've been in the purgatory pit of social media listening to wrong voices and then making wrong choices about what you think about yourself. Knowing and doing. We know we shouldn't scroll, what do they call it? Dead scrolling social media, but we do it anyway. And then we're going to feel bad about who we are. So, another question. Who do you know that can know you? Like, who do you know that will actually get up in your face and say, hey, Beth, here's what you're thinking that you ought not be thinking, and here's what you're doing that you ought not be doing, and I'm strong enough of a person to tell you that, and I'm a strong enough person to tell you that to your face. So, there's a lot of voices in the world today. Some of them are in your life, some of them are on your screens, some of them are just all the time. And so we have to be strong enough. We have to be a better me so we can be a better we to not fall for listening to all those voices. They say if you want to make a wrong decision, ask a lot of people what you should do. So, does right voices lead to right choices? Yes. And sometimes those voices need to be very, very few, very, very quiet. Prayers, Lord, do you hear me? God, will you lead me? And then wait to hear the voice of God. Because He's the one who created you to be you. He's the one who created me to be me. He's really the only one who knows the plan for my life and who knows the plan for your life. So, right choices lead to right voices. Welcome to week 4 of No Hamsters in Heaven. I'm so grateful for those of you who are watching along. Next week, we're going to be talking about I don't know what we're going to be talking about. Yeah, hear the birds. Look at the birds. Anyway, have a great weekend, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great